Istanbul, the only city in the world that looked at continents and said, why pick one when I can have both? This city is simultaneously a peaceful haven and a sensory overload. The only city in the world where ancient empires, chaotic traffic, and majestic mosques are somehow overshadowed by cats. Yes, cats. They're everywhere. On sidewalks, rooftops, labs, ATMs, probably running for mayor. Founded around 660 BC as Byzantium, back when people still thought Earth was flat and Wi-Fi was a wizard's curse, Istanbul has been passed around like the last piece of baklava at a family dinner. The Greeks had it, the Romans took it, the Byzantines made it fabulous, and the Ottomans just said, you know what, let's just turn this into the capital of everything. And somehow, through centuries of sieges, empires, and questionable urban planning decisions, it's still here. I'll just mention several main attractions. First, we have Hagia Sophia. Stands tall like an ancient diva that's seen it all. Wars, earthquakes, religion switches, and way too many tourists trying to take selfies from the wrong angle. Commissioned by Emperor Justinian in 537 AD, it was a church for almost 1,000 years, a mosque for almost 500, a museum for a hot minute, and now it's mosque again. Basically, the Beyoncé of buildings. Inside, marvel at the massive dome, golden mosaics, and the eerie sense that history is quietly judging you for wearing flip-flops. Then we have the Blue Mosque. Built in the early 1600s by Sultan Ahmed I, it's famous for its 6 minarets, because 5 just wasn't dramatic enough. It has over 20,000 handmade Iznik tiles and a building so symmetrical that makes your Instagram grid look like a toddler's art project. Oh, and it's still a working mosque, so dress respectfully. Then there's the Topkapi Palace, home to Ottoman sultans, their incredibly complicated family trees. Built in the 15th century, this place is basically a Netflix series waiting to happen. Intrigue, forbidden love, backstabbing viziers, and enough jewels to blind a small village. Actually, a TV series exists. It's called Muhteşem Yüzyıl, which translates to Magnificent Century. It's about Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent and his reign. I highly recommend it. For something a bit darker, literally, head down to the Basilica Cistern, a giant underground water reservoir built by Emperor Justinian. Yes, him again, guy was busy. It's supported by 336 ancient columns, some recycled from pagan temples because the Romans invented upcycling. It's cool, damp, and mildly terrifying in the best way. And yes, the upside-down Medusa heads are real. Why are they upside down? Probably just to confuse historians and thrill goth tourists. And the Grand Bazaar, it's been selling rugs, gold, and aggressive eye contact since the 15th century, and now home to about 4,000 shops. It's the original Amazon, except with better customer service and a higher chance of leaving with a lamp you didn't plan on buying. Want a carpet? You leave with 5. Didn't want that leather jacket? Tough luck. You now own 3, and you're weirdly okay with it. A gold bracelet? A mildly suspicious Rolex? You're in the right place. The haggling is part of the charm, or the trauma, depending on your personality. The Istanbul Museum card and the e-pass. 2 golden tickets to the city that promise to turn you into a culture-devouring, line-skipping, Ottoman-obsessed super tourist. Spoiler alert, they probably won't. Now let's talk about the e-pass, that gloriously marketed miracle offering access to 50-plus attractions. Wow, 50. That's impressive. If you're staying for, say, a month, not sleeping, and fueled by caffeine and blind optimism, you might just break even. For the rest of us mere mortals with a 3 to 7 day itinerary and a functioning need for rest, you're essentially buying a buffet and only eating the breadsticks. And then there's the museum card, Turkey's own version of limited time access to things you'll probably never get around to. It sounds cultured, refined, and intellectual, until you realize it only covers a handful of places in Istanbul, like Topkapi Palace, Hagia Istanbul Archaeological Museum, etc., and skips some of the big hitters you thought were museums. I'm sorry, but Dolmabahce Palace and Basilica Cistern are not included. Here's a radical thought. Grab a pen, make a list of the places you actually want to visit, check their up-to-date entrance fees, total it up, and then compare it with the pass price. Odds are you'll find out the pass is a poetic way to prepay for things you won't see. Kind of like a gym membership, but with fewer regrets and more Ottoman tiles. Now, I spent 10 days in Istanbul, managed to see all the main attractions, and spent less than 200 euros on entrance tickets. Overall, I didn't find the museum card or e-pass particularly useful, but as I always say, you do you, I'll do me. If you think those passes are right for you, go ahead and get them. I'm just sharing my personal experience. Unless your idea of vacation is sprinting from museum to museum with a stopwatch, skip the passes. Save your lira and spend it on what truly matters in Istanbul. Sizzling kebabs, mezes that ruin your appetite in the best way, and the late-night baklava coma washed down with Turkish coffee. You're welcome.